Hello, everyone. This is Lisa from Power Wheelchairs for Success. And today I'm going to tackle a question that sometimes comes about: how to set up my house so that it's wheelchair friendly. And this is an important question to answer because, especially if you are setting up a new home or a home for a relative who has a wheelchair or a scooter, this sometimes can be puzzling because we have a tendency to set up things the way that we always do. We follow certain patterns in terms of how to set up furniture in a home. And when you have a wheelchair, things are quite different. So I'm going to look into some vocabulary first and then some ideas. So one of the first words you want to keep in mind when you're looking for furniture and to be able to set up this apartment or this home is safety. So safety, I mean by, you wouldn't want to get glass top furniture or, furniture with sharp edges. And the reason being is, I'm in a power wheelchair and sometimes I have to stop short, or sometimes, I will bump into things depending on the day. So, so safety is first. You want to be practical. And less is better. Sometimes we want to purchase all this stuff and less is better. To do it in a very Amish type style, very simple. So, so let's get to it in terms of, dining rooms. Let's look at the dining room area or the kitchenette area. I would always love that the legs of this dining table be in the middle and not have the traditional four legs. And that's because I bump into things. So, if there's a leg anywhere, I'm going to bump into it. So dining room tables, I love them, or the kitchenette table, for the leg to be in the middle and for the table to be stable. Because sometimes you can have those middle legs, but the table is not really stable. So those are the type of furniture I would put in the kitchenette or in the kitchen or in the dining room is a round one with the leg in the middle. That's just awesome because then I'm not bumping into it. All right, so dining tables, no rugs. I know that we love rugs. Because they decorate, because they're warmer. If the floor is cold, then you can stand on the rug. But obviously, the person in the wheelchair is not going to be standing anywhere unless they can make a step or two, with crutches or a walker. But no rugs. And that could be a discussion to have with a person who's moving in with a wheelchair. Rugs or no rugs. The rug is going to get dirty because the wheels are going to be dirty. I would do away with the rugs personally. If I have to clean off my wheels when I come in, I'd probably want a specialized rug that I can just kind of spin around and get any dirt off of it at the entrance. But I guess it's a preference in terms of the rugs, actually. One thing that's really, I hadn't thought about this when I was doing my research, is a mirror that goes from floor to about, 6-7 feet. So the person in the wheelchair can kind of have a top to bottom view of themselves and check themselves out, make sure that everything is in place in the way they want it and they're looking good. So a mirror that goes from floor to about 6-7 feet. So that would be awesome in the bedroom. So a mirror. One of the other words that I use a lot here at my house is wheelchair level. Because they ask me, Lisa, how high should it be? I said, wheelchair level. And everybody's wheelchair level is different. So they kind of measure me, they measure the height of the wheelchair, they measure how high my arms can comfortably, reach. So wheelchair level. Recliner, I love my recliner. It's a little tricky to get into because it doesn't have an arm that can be removed. There are recliners and they're a little expensive, but I think worth it. There are recliners where you can remove one of the armrests, and it makes so much easier to transfer from your wheelchair into the recliner. So if you have that ability, or if you can save up pennies to get one of them, I think it would be really awesome, because sometimes we really need to get out of our chairs and stretch out. So one that would have removable arms would be awesome. Over the bed table is awesome. Those tables that they use in the hospitals, that would be awesome. So, and one that you could pivot the table a little bit. I have one that I could just pick up and put on my lap. But if you could get one on wheels, that would be great for the bed or for the recliner or anywhere in the house. You can grab that little table and drag it along or push it along. They're very, very useful. So, yes, over the bed table. It's awesome. And they're not too expensive. I mean, it just depends on, how it's made. I would prefer that the table be able to adjust up and down and also to pivot a little bit. And it might cost you about $100, $150, let's say. But those are my tips. So I think there's six tips here. Dining tables with a leg in the middle, no rugs, mirror from floor to about 6-7 feet. To keep your furniture, for the most part, at wheelchair level, in case that person wants to transfer. Recliner with movable armrest over the bed table. And there's one more thing, the bed. This could be a challenge because everybody has different needs. My bed is not specialized, but I made sure that it was at the level with my wheelchair so I could transfer much more easier. Some people still need the transfer board, which I still have nearby, because some days I just have more difficulty than others. But a transfer board would be good, but it's important that the bed, the mattress, be at the same level as the seat on the wheelchair, so that the transfer is much easier. And again, less is better. Configuration. Let's talk about configuration here. In our usual traditions, we usually put, furniture in the living room, and then we put a table in the middle, so that you can put magazines there, you can put, your drink or whatever. However, that's another blockage for the person using a wheelchair. So in my observation, what I would love is to have small end tables and to have that space in the middle absolutely empty, so that I can drive up and be a little bit closer to my guests, to my family, but nothing in the middle of that living room setup. So just the sectionals or one couch and two chairs at the side with little tables off to the sides, and that would be awesome, because that, again, leaves another practical space for the wheelchair user. So that is 7 tips, so I went over my 6. So I hope this is truly useful, especially if you're setting up a new home for the first time, or this person is moving in with friends or family, that you have some tips to kind of get things started so that the person in the wheelchair feels at home, feels like, they're going to be okay, feels like they're going to be comfortable, they're not going to have obstacles around the house. I'm one, and it's a little different from power wheelchairs to manual wheelchairs. I have a power wheelchair, and these puppies have a strong metal frame at the bottom and the strong frames around the casters, and I can really scrape things up. So that's why I kind of look for, okay, what kind of piece of furniture can I drag in here that I'm not going to tear up or bump into? So, and with manual wheelchairs, the person goes a little bit slower and more careful because they don't want to bang their knees or their wheelchair. So One more thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is important, I've mentioned it in other videos, but plugs, electrical outlets. This is really a struggle because if you're going into an older home or going into an older apartment, usually the plugs are really low on the wall. So what I've done, especially in my bedroom, is I've plugged in a power strip or a surge protector, and I have put it up on top of a table. Or with special Velcro, I've put it on the wall at wheelchair level so that I can reach it and plug and unplug things. So I just wanted to say that. Just remember, power strips and surge protectors are your friend. Lisa out.